Hello and welcome. So today, guys, it is all about date night. So we are entering the summer season pretty soon, and I figured it was time for me to share a couple of fragrances that I think are perfect for your date night during the summer season. In addition to sharing the fragrances with you, I will be also giving you some ideas on outfits that I think would be perfect to match the fragrance and of course make you feel beautiful and sexy and alluring during such a special night. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I am totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and sometimes you even get a bonus video for the week. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, guys, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you is a fragrance from a designer that I absolutely love. And this fragrance is one that I've had for quite a while, and I reserve it specifically for the summer season. I don't know, because this is a fragrance that you could probably use all throughout the year, but for me, it just feels perfect for like date night during the summer season. And I am speaking about Gucci's A Chant for the Nymph. So what I love about this fragrance is that, like the name says it, a chant for the nymph. It's like when you spray this fragrance on and you're going on a date, you are going to feel like a nymph. It's going to make you feel sexy and beautiful and alluring, and like you can just conquer the world. And of course, you are going to make sure that your loved one only has eyes for you. What I love about this fragrance is that it has such a beautiful combination of like different scent profiles. This is a fragrance that combines yellow and white florals in the perfect way. Although it has a tropical quality and a bit of a lactonic quality to it also, it is a very, very elegant fragrance. It is also a bit citrusy. It has some beautifully done woody notes that are always in the background of all the fruits and the white florals and the yellow florals. And the woodiness just adds like more character to the fragrance and makes it even sexier because there's like an air of mystery that comes with the fragrance. This is one that I really don't recommend that you use it like for a daytime date. This for me is definitely a nighttime type of date fragrance. This is a fragrance that performs really well because when I spray it on skin, I easily get 8+ hours. Even though if you're going on a date, you're not going to need a fragrance that gets you 8+ hours because you're probably only going to need it really for a strong 6 hours. So what I love about this fragrance is that although it has that good longevity, the projection, guys, is exquisite. You get 2+ hours of a very strong projection that then becomes a scent bubble and that will be with you for an additional 3 hours, if not more. This is a fragrance that I never overspray because it is not weak at all. This is not a beast mode fragrance, but it is quite intense because consider the fact that it has white florals and yellow florals, and it has some fruity notes to it, and then it has woody notes to it. I mean, that's quite a bit. So you don't want to choke your date or overwhelm anybody that's around you. This is a fragrance that I consider most appropriate for the groups of 30+. I don't think that this is for a 20-something-year-old. I really think that this is a fragrance that requires a certain level of maturity. So I would say 30+. So for the feel of this fragrance, I would recommend it like with a beautifully done jumpsuit, you know, a really sexy jumpsuit, one that reveals skin in certain areas, but then is really like demure in others because we want to keep it elegant and sophisticated. So this jumpsuit could be maybe in like a very live color because we are in the summer season, and it'll bring out your beauty. I would also wear this jumpsuit with like strappy sandals, not a very high heel, but like a mid-heel strappy sandal kind of shoe that you really, really love. In all, guys, I think this fragrance is perfection for a date night where you just want to feel sexy and like you're gonna take over the world. Let me know if you've tried a CHANT for the nymph. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you is from MUGLER, and this is Alien Goddess. Oh my goodness, guys, I had not pulled this fragrance in quite a while, and this morning I just, I had pulled it to film this video and I just decided to spray myself with it because I had forgotten how incredible this fragrance is. This is definitely a fragrance that I think is perfect for a summer date night. But for a summer date night where you start your date by going out like maybe early in the evening. You spray yourself with this fragrance and you can easily transition into the nighttime part of your date. So let's say that you go out like at 4 p.m. You're going to start at 4 p.m. You're maybe going to catch a movie, and from there you're going to go get some drinks or whatever it is that you're doing during the night. This fragrance is perfect for that transition from early evening, late afternoon into the night portion of your date. This fragrance is an absolute beautiful fragrance, guys. It has a ton of vanilla and it is quite powdery at the dry down. But even though it has a ton of vanilla, it is definitely sweet, but not very sweet. And it has that powderiness at the dry down in addition to the florals that come with it. This is a fragrance that's not going to make you feel fresh, but it is never going to feel cloying. And even in very hot weather, it performs exquisitely. There's also a touch of woodiness, which adds oomph to the fragrance. And it is definitely a musk-based fragrance, which also helps with the warm temperatures. It also has some citrus notes that you can clearly pick up on when you first spray, but those citrus notes kind of disappear midway through the olfactory journey. But do not be concerned, because that doesn't mean that the fragrance no longer feels not necessarily fresh, but like a fragrance that is perfect for warm weather. This fragrance performs really, really well, which is why I recommend it for those date days where you're going to start your date night earlier in the afternoon, and then you're going to transition to another occasion or event later in the night. I think that the feel of this fragrance is all about like casual elegance. This is not necessarily a fragrance that I would pull if I'm going to a formal summer event or if I'm going to a very like upscale restaurant on a date. No, this is a fragrance that I'm not necessarily saying that this is a jeans and sneakers and a t-shirt, even though you can with this fragrance, but I'm saying more like I see myself like with a pair of linen shorts and a linen summer top and like an oversized linen blazer. And all of them like in the perfect color for summer. Maybe like a pink or a coral or a light blue, one of those beautiful summer colors. You are going to look elegant, and you can definitely dress it down or dress it up. So if you're starting your evening early, as I said before, you can probably wear it with a pair of flat sandals or some really cute flip-flops. And then you can transition by bringing your more dressy shoes and changing to them later that evening. And for that, I would probably recommend some strappy sandals with a mid-heel. Because we are in the summer, we don't want to have like 4+ inch heels unless we're going to a more dressy kind of occasion. All in all, guys, this is a fragrance that performs very, very well. It will get you 7+ hours without having to overspray. It does have an incredible sillage, which will also get you compliments. And this is definitely a fragrance that I think anybody can pull off from any age group. All right, guys, so the next fragrance that I have for you is one that I just love to talk about. This fragrance, I haven't pulled it in a while, and when I decided to do a video on designer fragrances, I figured it was the perfect time because I think this fragrance is perfection for a summer date night. This is a fragrance that has become actually my favorite from this designer house, even though they have so many gloriously beautiful fragrances, but J'adore L'Or The 2023 edition is currently my favorite from Dior. Now you guys know that I'm a violet lover, so this is a fragrance. Have you guys gotten your nose on this fragrance? Because, oh my goodness, if you've seen my other videos where I actually talk about this fragrance, I just absolutely think this is magnificent. And I had never picked up any of the J'adore fragrances from Dior because none of them really impressed me. But in 2023, last year, I decided to give this one a try because I noticed that there was a note of violet. And the violet has been done, when I tell you, to perfection, and it is in combination with quite a bit of white florals. I pick up on jasmine, I pick up on magnolia, I pick up like on a tad of tuberose also. This fragrance to me is just perfection. You have those white florals, and there's also some other florals here because I do pick up on a hint of rose and a couple of others, but they have not disclaimed them. But I can tell you that this fragrance is just perfection. And what I love about it is that it is very versatile. This is definitely a fragrance that you can dress up, you can dress down. If you're on vacation and you only want to bring one designer fragrance, this is one that I highly recommend that you get your nose on to see if it interests you. Because this is a fragrance that I definitely see like casual attires that you can dress up in the spur of the moment. So if you're wearing like a white summer dress with like a plunging neckline and it's very like kind of flowy, you know, kind of airy, but at the same time, even though it's casual and airy, it still feels like a little bit sexy. There's just something about this dress. It's understated, but in being understated, it still brings out the best in you. This is a dress that I would wear probably with some wedges, you know, open toe wedges, and then later in the evening, you could transition to some strappy sandals. I think that this fragrance would be perfect for that type of outfit. And that is definitely an outfit that most of us have in our wardrobe for the summer. This is a fragrance that performs beautifully, guys, because without having to overspray, it gives me 7 solid hours. And within those 7 hours, it does become a skin scent, but it's one of those skin scents that continues to give you whiffs of the fragrance all throughout the evening. This is also a fragrance that will get you, oh my goodness, so many compliments. People will actually chase you down to ask you what is it that you're wearing, because it is just so alluringly beautiful. This is a fragrance that I think 25 plus is perfect for, and of course, it has no oud. This next fragrance is a fragrance that was just launched in 2024 and that I picked up almost immediately. I've had it on another video when I first hauled it and I gave you a preliminary review. But this fragrance is exquisite. And I have to tell you that I absolutely love most of the fragrances that I've ever sniffed from this designer. And I am speaking about Chloe Nomad NUIT the Egypt. So this is the latest flanker from the Nomad line or the Nomad collection for Chloe. And I can tell you that this fragrance does not disappoint. There is a very exotic air and feel to this fragrance, almost like if you were truly in Egypt. It is a bit mysterious, but it's also so beautifully done. What I absolutely love about this fragrance is that, much like the others that I've shared with you today, which I didn't do it on purpose, but I guess I love fragrances that give me or bring versatility. I just don't like to get complicated. This is a fragrance that is very versatile because you can definitely dress it down and you can also dress it up. Fragrance has such an incredible combination of notes, but the best part is that they have been done to perfection. The blend of this fragrance is just absolutely exquisite. This fragrance is very sweet and has quite a bit of vanilla. It has yellow florals, but it also has white florals. And what I love about it is that the white and yellow florals play so well together that they're seamless. While I was able to pick up on the white and yellow florals in J'adore, in this one, the blend, when I tell you, it is seamless. I find that that tends to be the DNA of Chloe fragrances. This fragrance is also very ambery. And it's also warm, spicy. And the spice that I pick up on clearly is the cinnamon. There's also like a balsamic quality to the fragrance, which adds to that warm, spicy quality that I just mentioned. There's quite a number of citrus notes here, and I really believe they have not disclaimed all, because when you first spray it, it hits you with that freshness coming from those citrus notes. But those citrus notes take a backseat almost immediately, giving way to that exquisite blend of the white and yellow florals. At the dry down, you are left with the most beautiful white and yellow florals combination with a background of powderiness. So as far as the feel of this fragrance, I can tell you that, like I said at the beginning, this is such a versatile fragrance. You can definitely use it for a daytime type of date or a nighttime type of date. Or if you're spending the entire day with your loved one and you guys have activities for the morning and then you have a date night scheduled, this is your fragrance. You are just going to have your partner's attention all day long because this fragrance does pull people to you. This is a fragrance that you could probably wear with like a very flowy kind of summer dress, maybe a light denim dress, or just a dress that is very flowy and beautiful, but it's like a mini dress, you know, just very flowy and summery for during the day or early afternoon. And then for the evening, I imagine like this fragrance with an outfit of maybe like a pair of pants that have been done in like a beautiful, beautiful silk summer kind of pattern. And those pants have like a flared leg, and then you wear it with a very streamlined or fitted kind of top. This is a fragrance that while you carry it throughout the entire day is going to get you 8+ hours. And this is definitely one that I do overspray, and I overspray it not so much because it needs it, but because this is a fragrance that smells, guys, this smells heavenly. This fragrance I would say is best suited for 25+, and of course it has absolutely no oud. Now this next fragrance is definitely for an evening date. I don't even see myself wearing this fragrance at all during the day. There's just something so very like sexy about it. This is a fragrance that you definitely want to wear when you want to make sure that you retain the attention of your loved one at all times. And I am speaking about Jean Paul Gaultier's Divine. Now this is a fragrance that I've had as part of my collection since it was first launched last year because I picked it up immediately. There was just something about the notes that pulled me to this fragrance, and oh my goodness, I am so glad that I did. This fragrance I consider to be the perfect fragrance for a warm summer night. This fragrance opens with a total collection of white florals, but the beauty of this fragrance is that even though it is a sexy fragrance, and it is definitely to my nose a evening and night type of fragrance, it also has an aquatic quality to it that adds to that sexiness and allure. It has a beautiful combination of white florals and yellow florals, but in this fragrance, I can definitely distinguish the white florals from the yellow florals. It is very aromatic and musky, and as part of that aquatic, like marine quality, it brings a tad of saltiness. It's like you're almost going to sniff ocean. This is a fragrance that on its own makes a statement, and I absolutely love the fact that it gets me a ton of compliments. The sillage on this fragrance is strong, even though the projection is only strong during the first hour, but then it becomes a scent bubble for like an additional hour before it becomes a skin scent, and then that skin scent will take you all throughout the wear of the fragrance. This is a fragrance that consistently gets me 7+ hours, but I really never have the need to wear it for more than that because, as I said, this for me is an evening to late night, date night kind of fragrance. I think 25+ is the best fit as far as age groups, and it has absolutely no oud As far as the feel of this fragrance, I think this fragrance is perfection to wear for the summer, like with a one shoulder, maybe in a linen type of dress, right? But one shoulder, very sleek, with no frills and just one solid color. Just a beautifully done one shoulder linen dress. And then I would probably combine it with a very, very small kind of handbag, and I would definitely wear strappy heels with this outfit. I would keep the makeup demure and minimize, if at all, wear any type of jewelry. This is a fragrance that's going to get you so much attention, and you are going to feel elegant, sophisticated, beautiful, alluring, and sexy. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is from a designer that most of us actually love, but there is something, because every time he launches a fragrance, it creates so much controversy. And this fragrance that I'm going to share with you did create quite a bit of conversation, but I happen to love this fragrance. And this is a fragrance that I actually pull all throughout the year except for the winter season. But I think that for a warm summer night where it's just warm, not like really super hot, but a warm summer night with the right outfit, I think this fragrance is a complete success. And I am speaking about Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. This fragrance, guys, is one that I wear on a date night when I am feeling exquisitely sleek, streamlined, modern, but edgy and sexy, and like in kind of like a troublemaker kind of mood, if you know what I mean. This is a fragrance that supplements an outfit where you're probably going to be wearing some linen or some cotton wide leg pants that have some sort of design or have some sort of fold that adds to the elegance of the outfit. I would pair that type of slack with like a very fitted kind of top. Although this fragrance is called Bitter Peach, I have to tell you guys that I pick up so much on a whole bunch of citrus notes that have not even been disclaimed. But in addition to that, the dominant notes to my nose are really the booziness in this fragrance and that heliotrope. As the journey continues, I start to pick up on the vanilla, and I pick up on tonka, and I also pick up on cardamom. But this fragrance to me is really not necessarily warm spicy. It's more like fresh spicy because, like I said before, I do pick up on some citrus notes. As far as the booziness of the fragrance, it is so clear to my nose that there is cognac in this fragrance. I don't pick up on the rum very much, but I do pick up on the cognac quite a bit. And to my nose, this is a very boozy fragrance that has as dominant notes those citrusy notes, but of course the peach, and the peach is more like peach skin than the pulp, juicy part of a peach. All in all, guys, this is a fragrance that I absolutely love. I never buy a big 100 ml bottle of Tom Ford fragrances because I have so many fragrances in my collection. So I typically buy 50 ml. So the fragrances that I share with you from my Tom Ford fragrances collection that are 100 ml should definitely tell you how much I love them. This is a fragrance that gets me, without overspraying, it does get me a solid 7 hours. And when I use it in order to extend that wear, if I'm going for a long evening, what I do is that I layer it with bath and body products that have a strong scent of peach. And it is just a delight. I've also done it with like vanilla, but I don't like it as much. I just think that if you use body products that are peach scented, oh, this fragrance is just a delight. Through the years that I've had it has only gotten me, I really think, just one compliment, but I just absolutely love wearing it. I have to be in the mood, of course, for it, but I absolutely love wearing it. And I don't limit it to the summer. This is really a fragrance that was designed more for like the fall and spring. But for me, this is perfect for the summer during a date night. Now, the next two fragrances that I'm going to share with you, I just want to tell you right now that If you do not want to be noticed, if you do not want to be the center of attention at a party, or even if you walk into a very upscale restaurant because you're on a date night with your loved one, you are going to have people turn around and see who has just arrived, who has entered the room, because these fragrances are no joke and they do command attention. These are fragrances that I love to pull for date night regardless of the season. So for me, these fragrances are year-round fragrances. I will also tell you that these two fragrances that are coming up are not ones that I bring if I'm going to like a resort vacation with the plan to wear them for like an evening type of outing. No, because these fragrances, again, are quite intense. The first one that I want to share with you is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Intense. This fragrance focuses a lot on white florals and has quite a bit, oh my goodness, this fragrance smells so good, guys. Can you please let us know if you have this fragrance? So this fragrance, as I said, does open with a ton of vanilla. For me, this fragrance is very vanilla centric while being very ambery. And then to my nose, it is sprinkled with like white florals and a tad of woody notes that give it that sexy vibe and that sexy feel that you can't avoid whenever you spray this fragrance on yourself. The dry down, it is powdery and it also has a tad of a balsamic quality. This is a fragrance, guys, that I reserve for more formal occasions or events if I'm going out on a date night during the summer season, because there is a feel to this fragrance that speaks to a dressier, if you know what I mean, kind of event. I picture this fragrance because of that feel with like maybe like with a very sleek and streamlined and very elegant, kind of like a halter type of dress, but a long dress. So it's like a maxi dress. It could even be a gown if it's a really, really formal type of event. But this is a fragrance that will give you some versatility. I don't think that this is a fragrance for casual occasions. This is definitely, to my nose, for dressier occasions, but it is a fragrance that will allow you to, for example, go to a wedding. So let's say that the wedding is not a black tie type of event. You could definitely wear this fragrance and it will be the perfect fit for the night. This is also a fragrance that goes very well if you're going to any type of upscale occasion during a date night. This is an 8+ hour without having to overspray kind of fragrance. It has a very strong projection that is at the 2+ hours mark. After that, it does become a scent bubble, but that scent bubble is so strong. And the sillage is more than moderate. This is a fragrance that is going to get you a ton of compliments. This is in my top 10 list of most complimented fragrances. This fragrance is an absolute success. If you want to call attention and you want to be noticed, no matter where you go or what type of occasion it is, this is your friend. I consider to be best suited for 30+, and this is a fragrance that has absolutely no oud. So this next fragrance, guys, of all of the fragrances that I've shared with you today, this is by far the sexiest. This is a fragrance that I would definitely say is quite dangerous, because you want to wear this fragrance when you are out on a date night or going on a date night with someone that you know quite well, that you are ready to take additional steps with, if you know what I mean. Because this fragrance demands and commands attention no matter where you go or what you do. I am speaking about Givenchy's L'Interdit, but the Rouge. Oh my goodness, guys. I have to tell you, this is the ultimate date fragrance. This was designed for date night. And this is a fragrance that I pull for date night all throughout the year. all seasons, guys. It doesn't matter. But this is a fragrance that if you're going to wear it in warm weather, I prefer to pull it for those occasions where I know that we are going to be indoors and that there's going to be, full on AC, because to wear it for an outdoor occasion or event, I don't think it's a good idea. First of all, this is not, in my opinion, at all a daytime fragrance. This is definitely a late evening into the night type of fragrance. So 6 p.m. and on. In most regions at 6 p.m. during the summer, the sun is still out, and that's fine. If you're going for, a dinner, in a waterfront kind of restaurant, and it's, early in the evening, this is perfection. If you're going for a dressier type of occasion, a more of a formal event, this is the perfect fragrance. If you're wearing a pair of jeans and you're wearing some sort of sandals and you're wearing a really nice shirt, this is the perfect fragrance. So this is a fragrance that you can dress up and you can dress down. But just be sure that when you spray this fragrance, you're going to feel like you're trying to call attention, because that's what this fragrance is. This fragrance is definitely warm, spicy. Very, very warm, spicy, which adds to that allure and that pulling others into you. It is just incredible. There's also quite a bit of white florals in here, but the dominant white floral that I pick up is definitely tuberose. So you definitely have to love tuberose because it is like the star of the florals in this fragrance. In addition to that, there are a couple of citrusy notes here and there that I do pick up on, but they are very weak and they're always in the background because this fragrance is designed and is intense. It is very warm, spicy. It has quite a bit of woodiness to it. And it also has, of course, those white florals, with the tuberose being dominant within the white florals for most of the journey. And then at the dry down, you are going to get some patchouli, and you are going to get a powdery quality to the fragrance, as well as an earthiness that comes from the patchouli. So all in all, guys, I've mentioned a whole bunch of notes that I clearly pick up on and that are not demure in this fragrance. And the notes that I have shared with you, such as like patchouli and tuberose and woody notes, are notes that are no joke. They are designed to have a certain degree of intensity in most fragrances. And in this fragrance, they do not disappoint. This is a powerhouse. This is a fragrance that, without having to overspray, guys, I've never worn it more than 9 hours, but I know that this is probably a 12+ hour kind of fragrance, because on clothes, this will linger on forever. This fragrance has a very, very strong projection that goes well over the 2-hour mark, and it never on my skin becomes a skin scent. It is always a scent bubble that goes with me everywhere. This is one of the highest compliment getting fragrances, period. This is a fragrance that whenever you walk in, I am telling you, people will turn to see who just arrived, and they will want to know what you're wearing, because this is a fragrance that, while not being obnoxiously loud, there is just something about it that calls attention. As far as your loved one, oh my goodness, they will not be able to take their eyes off of you at any moment. I said before, this is a fragrance that you can dress down and you can dress up. So as far as the feel, I have a couple of outfits that, I think would be perfect with this fragrance. So for a more casual type of date night or evening type of occasion, as far as the casual type of outfit for this fragrance, but still, with a certain type of classy and sophisticated and bordering on elegant kind of feel, I would see like a beautiful romper. And you would wear that romper like with very, very nice wedges, but not like thick wedges. No, ones that are maybe like no more than 2.5 inches in height. Or you can wear that romper with like some heels that are beautiful, open-toed, and that are not very, very high, maybe like 3-inch high kind of heels. Then for the more of a dressier kind of outfit, I definitely see this with a very sleek dress that is a mini dress and that has all of you covered except for the fact that it is a very short mini dress revealing your beautiful legs and of course your shoulders and arms. And I would be sure to wear like one of those body creams or lotions that give you a little bit of not glitter, but a little bit of shimmer in all of these skin exposed areas, just to add to the allure. I would keep the jewelry very minimal, and I would definitely, for this specific outfit, definitely wear strappy heels of any height that you prefer. All in all, guys, I think that this fragrance is the perfect fragrance for a date night, regardless of the season. But it's also the perfect fit for the right summer date night occasion. This is a fragrance that I definitely consider to be most appropriate for I would say 25, 30, better 30, but a mature 25 and over can definitely pull off this fragrance because it is just incredible and it is so versatile. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video and I hope that this was as enjoyable for you as it was for me. Please don't forget to let me know in the comment section if you've tried or if you own any of these fragrances and your thoughts. Also, what kind of outfits and occasions do you use these fragrances for? Because we all have our own opinions and all I did today was just share my opinion with you. Thank you so much as usual for hanging with me today, and I will see you in the next video.